Yeah, man, that was a performance on Sunday that I expected, man. Like that's what I expected to see them perform that way against like multiple teams this season. And Sunday was the first game, that they came and they produced, man. Like what? Looking at the statistics, he put up 4 touchdowns, 333
Wow.
yards. I mean, he's slinging that thing out there, 46 attempts.
Yeah.
They made sure this, and I think the way that they balanced it out was perfect because at the beginning of the game, we came out, we started off slow, we were punting the ball a decent amount, but as you see, they still kept passing the ball, and then they start to click, they start to get a rhythm, and then Ben he starts distributing the ball to everybody, and then before you know it, it's like, man, this game is out of hand, Yeah, so we got a lot to talk about. Man, defense, man, they balled out on Sunday. What was your thoughts, pertaining to the performance, especially with that first half route? Like, what were you thinking? Like, how all this when everything was happening?
Well, that morning when it was like a hurricane came through, Cincinnati's a one-dimensional team without Joe Mixon. And the only thing they can do is pass the ball. But the way the wind was blowing, man,
Yeah,
and Joe Burrows don't got the strongest arm in the world. He's pretty accurate, but I knew when it wasn't going to be Cincinnati's day when that wind came through. Ben's experience. Ben got a pretty strong arm, and definitely favored when they fumbled with the first punt. They stopped the Steelers and fumbled that punt. You knew it was going to be a long day.
Now, were you actually there at the game, or were you just watching on TV?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did
Mhm.
the win, like, did it change in the second half? Because, like, I noticed that too, like, a few of the balls that Ben was throwing, like, they were going away from him. But then, like, I want to say maybe around, like, the end of the second, quarter, it looked like he started getting a little bit more crisp. And then in the second half, he was just like, some of his throws were a little bit off because he's thrown a deep ball a little bit more than what he usually does or what he's done this season. But as far as like the wind just moving the ball in a different direction, that like you weren't seeing that in the second half, at least from him. Now, Cincinnati, I mean, like Joe Burrow, he looked like a deer caught up in headlights out there, man. Like he didn't know what was going on after that first touchdown. Like it was just like the game was completely over after that.
well, I really didn't notice that much because I was up in the press box, and so I probably should have went out a few times just to feel with everybody. But looking at the flags, but you never know because it's a lot of times it's windy in places like Cincinnati and Pittsburgh and New York and
Yeah.
off that river.
Mhm.
But don't forget the 1 o'clock game. It from 1 o'clock till because I got there about one. From 1 o'clock to about 2:30, it was calm. But I knew it was coming because remember the Cleveland Browns played at home and they had I think a 1 hour or 45-minute delay because of the windy conditions and the hailstorm that came through. So I knew
Mhm.
we were going to get it.
Mhm.
But the Pittsburgh Steelers they was ready to play football, man. They was pumped up, and like you said,
Yeah.
I think if Cincinnati had any kind of a backup quarterback, I think they'd have sat Burrows down, man. He's having a great rookie season, but I can see why, just in his demeanor, that maybe he didn't get no play time at Ohio State because when things wasn't going right for him, man, he just had his head down, man. He was. I know it was windy, but he was missing wide open guys in the flat, and
Yeah.
he was just frustrated with the conditions. And hey, what can you say? The route was on.
Yeah. It seemed like he couldn't catch a break there. Chris, is that you? Did you just jump on?
Yeah, what up, bro?
Okay, man. So we're all dialogue, man.
I'm on here. I'm listening.
Tell me, man, what was your thoughts on Sunday, man? That first half. it seemed like we got him up out of there again in the first half, and the second half, we were just talking about Joe Burrow, like it just looked like he was just completely defeated. Like they couldn't do anything. So,
you gotta remember,
what were
bro,
you thinking watching that?
You got to remember, though, like he said, he is a good quarterback. He's a rookie, one.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you already have so much pressure on you because they're talking shit about Dustin, the number one team in the league. You know what I mean? As a rookie quarterback, you're supposed to come in and knock off an undefeated team.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the top team in the league. So that's a lot of pressure to put on him. So you got to remember that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's an amazing person, but that's a lot of pressure to put on any quarterback, bro.
Oh, man.
You're supposed to do all this work. You mean beat an unbeaten team, come to their spot and do it, everything else, and you don't have no weapons.
Mm.
I mean, his receivers were open on some, and he was missing passes, but there were on a couple that they finished the routes. There was a couple times he's getting ready to throw the ball, and they're cutting left, and they're supposed to be going right. Like, I mean, there was no communication there.
Yeah,
so, I mean, honestly, I expected them to be in the game a little more than they were. I didn't expect it to be such a beating. But if you remember, I said they were going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
And that's another thing too. Did you just said he's a rookie quarterback? I don't think that was the smartest move for the Bengals to give all that clickbait.
I don't even understand what the fuck they was doing. Like y'all talking shit, big shit, stepping on our towels, burning shit, running your mouth, making little videos and TikToking shit, and then you bring in a rookie quarterback.
They tried to get him killed out there, man.
Yeah, like you brought a rookie quarterback to an undefeated grudge match. The fuck was you thinking? Like you literally came to a gunfight with a rubber band around your finger, like they're trying to shoot it at people. Like you were unmanned, ungunned, outgunned, outmanned, and just outplayed. That's all I can say. Steelers really showed their ass.
And what did you think about Ben Roethlisberger and his performance? Like, we just talked about some of the weather conditions with the wind, pushing the ball and everything around. But Ben, it looked like I said again, and like late in the second quarter, he started getting into a rhythm and he's passing that ball with no problems. It looked like the wind wasn't an issue, but Joe Burrow, he was still dealing with some issues there. Banger, I just jumped on. What was your thought pertaining to the performance of Big Ben and Joe Burrow? What do you think as far as with him coming here to Heinz Field on Sunday?
Hold on, let me rejoin you, man. My audio is messed up. Let me call you right back.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, but you also got to remember this with that. Ben is used to playing in these conditions.
Yeah.
That open side of that field puts off so much wind that you wouldn't have, unless you've actually been on that field to feel it, you wouldn't understand. There is so much wind coming through there when it's going, like he said, right off the river and everything like that. I mean, that's something you got to get used to. That's another thing that he had against him. He had a lot against him. I mean, he's a good quarterback. He's still a rookie. I mean, he didn't get a chance to, he was getting hammered from the gate. Like he was getting smacked from the gate, bro. You know what I mean? So pressure, timing, and just circumstances, bro. I mean, that's the one main thing that just killed him. Like literally, like if it had been a different situation, he might have had a great game somewhere else. But here, I mean, he just had everything against him.
And Jim, was Burrow, he only played 1 year for LSU, right? Like, was that the only season?
He played 2.
Then he transferred up?
LSU. Yeah,
2 complete seasons?
He only had 1 good year. His junior year, he didn't do too much.
Where was he in Ohio first?
Yeah, he was at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And we know Ohio State don't play white quarterbacks, so I don't even know why he went there, man. And so he transferred to LSU. It worked out well for him, man. He 60 touchdowns in 1 season. Ain't nobody gonna break that record. And the national championship. So, but yeah, you could tell that he's actually a great athlete. He was all state in high school in basketball, baseball, and football. He's a heck of a runner, but he was so confused out there. And the Steelers do confuse rookie quarterbacks with that defense that he didn't even run. I mean, a few times he stayed in that pocket and got pounded. He got up limping. And a few times I thought he was going to do a quarterback draw or roll out or something, but it was like deer in headlights man. He know where them boys was coming from, man. They was coming from all over, man. He was confused with the coverage, and that's what happens to a rookie quarterback. And he didn't have a Joe Mixon in the backfield to, bail him out at all.
Yeah. And it's crazy as you said that, he was limping, because I think he did go to scramble on one play, and Dupree kind of like came on the sideline and was chasing him down. And when he got out of bounds, it looked like he just tapped him. Like it was like a light push. And then from there, he was limping like for the rest of the game. So I didn't check to see, what Cincinnati's injury report was this week, but it's interesting to see, what actually took place. Like, was it that play that he got hurt, or what did he have it pre-existing?
I don't think he's on the injured list. He's not on the injured list.
Oh, he's not? Okay. Gotcha.
I think he was looking to find his way out of the game, but the coach wouldn't let him, man. I remember watching the game one time when I was a kid, man, and this running back, man, in college, he got hurt. And he went limping to the sideline. The coach said, "Get back out there, man." He went sprinting like there was nothing wrong with him, man. So, but I tell you what, I would really consider firing the Cincinnati coach. Listen, you getting blown out, you getting beat, your team is demoralized. Later on in the season, you may need a fake punt to win a football game. Why are you fake punting when you're down by like 40 points, man, and late in the fourth quarter, man? Keep that in your back pocket until you really need it, man. So that was poor coaching, man.
And you know what? It's good that you actually brought that up, because that was one thing that I was actually, lost about. Like when we're talking about like, all of the things that they, brought to this game that they didn't have to, pertaining to like a lot of the disrespecting a terrible towel, rivalry that's like it's there, but it's not there. Like we're in the same division, but like we've been whipping your ass for years. Like you got. Like, let's be honest, So like for them to do that with Burrow, like we said, it's his first time coming into Heinz Field. He's a rookie. He's going against the Steelers. They're undefeated. We got a veteran quarterback with Big Ben. He's hot. Like, I'm wondering, is this a situation where they're trying to maybe position themselves for a better draft pick or something like that? Like, it has to be something that is just like making them, because even with that big punt there, like, I think that may have just been them just trying to test it just to see, like, okay, how is this play going to run in the in-game situation?
Fuck their game plan, bro. Fuck them. Whatever they got in their mind, fuck them, man. They got nothing to do with us. Fuck them. They got their ass whipped, bro. They got their ass whipped.
Let me start with this though. Happy belated birthday there, bro.
Yes, birthday, man.
Happy belated. This is the first time I'm actually seeing you. Happy belated there, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Sorry, jumping late, man. But
I said, how did you celebrate? Was it
just a regular, man. Just being safe, but get a little California sunshine in my life. Regular.
Cali banger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, bro. Cali banger.
I'll be back in the city soon, man. As soon as we're able to. But man, with Joe Burrows, man, what we talked about last week with the whole thing with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrows being first time facing Ben, how that's a factor. But we forgot to mention what we really saw this week, what y'all was talking on. The defense feels the same way. TJ Watt said it. I don't want to paraphrase him. He was like, man, we got to set the tone. Like, hey, man, welcome to the AFC North. We are the welcoming committee. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and when you have the bar set so high where it's that standard where everybody knows, hey, man, you're a rookie playing the Steelers defense. You're going to get your ass whooped. You're going to get pounded. The men know they got to live up to that height. And that's the type of, it's 99% mental. Yeah, hey, everybody's physically in shape. Everybody's a stud out there, but who wants to win the most? And those are the type of, the intangibles that really make a difference. So I love the disrespect to the towel. I hope every team does it. That's something I always hope they do. I want that curse on them, and I want the team to have that extra motivation. And we seen it play out this week, man. Joe Burrows got fucked up. Like Heisman who? Like, I don't give a damn about no damn Heisman, bro. Like,
yeah, he had a terrible game. what was everyone's thoughts as far as with special teams play? Like, I know the last game, you know, we had a couple special teams issues there as far as with some of the field goals and some of the extra points. Didn't seem like we really dealt with you know, any type of an issue this past game there. And then to me, it was very, very refreshing to see Ray McCloud actually returning punts and kick returns. That's something we didn't see, you know, Switzer do for the past few years. So what was everyone's thoughts as far as you know, with the special teams game plan for this past game and how that actually impacted the game? I'm going to keep it there with you, Banger.
Ray, man, it's nice to see Ray. He made his name known like a few weeks ago. We were all asking, like, who the hell is this dude? Why is he getting so much playing time? Like, who's number 14? And now we see that when he's every time his hands touch the ball, he's getting those yards after the catch. And that's translating into his returns, which is a beautiful thing. Those are those free extra, if nothing else, it's great field position, but at best, it's free touchdowns.
Really?
I think he's going to give us a lot of those, man. That gives the offense time to rest. I mean, those. Hey, man, nobody's going to be mad about what he's doing. That's all I can say about
it. Yeah. What about you, Jim? What was your thoughts as far as with the special teams? I know you've seen a lot of Steeler football. Like, how do you think the special teams is developing throughout this season to this point?
Well, I tell you what, you know, like you mentioned about Ryan Switzer, who was one of Ben Roethlisberger's best friends on the team. So I was kind of surprised he got cut because he was so close to Ben. But the reason is because of Ray McCloud. You know, I guess the Steelers scouted him when he was at Clemson, and he didn't play that much for Buffalo. But we had solved the punt return problem last year with Deontay Johnson. He was a beast. He was going to be great again this year. He just can't stay healthy. So I'm glad there's not too many teams in the league that have two premier, you know, kicking and punt return guys. And we have it. I'm not real thrilled with the special teams coach. You know, he chews a lot of bubble gums, but most teams, you know, they hire their buddy as a special team coach. If you look around the league, you very seldom see somebody who's outstanding that's as a special teams coach, and we don't have one. And you know, the league did us a favor a few years ago where, you know, they allowed kickers to kick it out the end zone and gave you a break and spotted the ball at the 25-yard line if you don't bring it out. You know, because we've always had, you know, some concerns over the years, you know, with our special team. So I'm glad in terms of the return game that we're one of the best in the league. I think Ray should go to the Pro Bowl for sure.
Now, question as far as you said, special teams coaches. What about the individual out there in Dallas? Like, I believe he. Prior to going to Dallas this season, I believe he was in Los Angeles with the Rams a few years ago. He seems like he's an excellent coach that may be available, by my understanding, this upcoming offseason. Do you believe they need some type of an upgrade at the coaching, at the coaching position there, or do you think it's the players
every once in a while you'll get a great coach that begins his career as a special team coach. Bill Cowher was a special teams coach. You know, John Harbaugh started his career off as a special teams coach. You know, so there's been a few, but for the most part, you know, the coaches is like anybody else, man. It's a big fraternity. So usually your wide receivers coach and your special teams coach. Don't forget Todd Haley started off as a wide receivers coach. He never played football a day in his life. He was a golf pro, couldn't cut it. He couldn't hack it on a golf course. So he ran to his daddy, who was the general manager at one time with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that drafted 13 Hall of Famers, Dick Haley. And Dick Haley called Bill Parcells and says, "You got an opening for my son. yeah, he can coach the wide receivers. You know what I mean? Because usually a wide receiver comes into the NFL and able to play. You know, they just got to learn to play. So special teams and Todd Haley will tell you, wide receivers coach, he don't have to do anything. And he's doing a great job now. I think he's a wide receivers coach for a high school, Riverview High School right now. They don't even want him back in the league. So, but he made a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what about you, Chris? I know, like, we kind of actually just talked about, the development of the special teams. What about the running game situation? I know we kind of talked about this before. I know a couple individuals, like, they're kind of sold on Connor, but they're not 100% sold on Connor. These past 2 games, he really hasn't been able to, really get the ground game, up and running and really be able to produce and put numbers on the board there. What's your thoughts as far as with the direction they're at running back? Like, what should the Steelers do? Do you think they should stay with Connor, or do you think it should be the next man up, where they should start bringing in some of these other backs and swinging them into rotation there?
I think Connor's doing a great job. I mean, you got to remember, we've gone against a lot of teams with some nice lines and linebackers, in that position. So they've had a nice up front, defensive front, and everything else. That's why we've been tearing up with these passes, because we've been destroying their D-backs that they don't have. I mean, literally, the last couple games, I've said it, we got to attack them D-backs. There's nothing there. So, when you only have a run defense, that's what you're going to be dominant at. So, it's not that he's a bad back. It's just that they are putting everything they got into that run defense. He's still breaking a couple when need be and getting the first down when he needs to have it. But, at this point, Pittsburgh's a passing offense. Everybody knows that. That's just what it is. And, if you have these wide receivers that we have and you're not a passing offense, you'd be an idiot. Use your talent where you have it. I'm not saying Connor's a bad back whatsoever, but I'm just saying, if you're holding a pistol in this hand and a knife in this hand, which one you taking to the fight? You know what I mean? You better remember to go with your stronger combo at all times. So our pass game is so much more. Connor's a great back. He definitely is. We had this conversation, what was this, 3 games ago? We talked about the same thing. Yeah. He got a little cold, and he came out the next game and he fucking tore it up over 100 yards, was killing it, moving. Cutting back and forth, that after addition with the hit. He'd take a shot and boom, move some more with that. So he had a great game. So it's not that he's a bad back. It's just that at this point, he's basically on a back burner. Our Pittsburgh's offense is passing. So, yeah, we'll try to run him the ball a little bit, but we run him the ball basically to break up our passing is what we're doing right now. Exactly, we don't hand him the ball expecting him to get a touchdown.
Exactly. And the funny thing about it, Chris, he said that it's like as soon as you say something about him, like, oh, he's slowing down, he goes out there and turns it up. As he said himself, if you just read his Instagram and Twitter, y'all talk shit on me, then you love me. Then you talk shit on me, then you love me. And and they be paying attention. And it's like, yeah, I be feeling like the more you hear people say some goofy shit about him, the more he goes out there and produces. So I just refrain from even joining that group of idiots. You know what I mean? Like, that's what they are. They're a group of assholes. I don't even want to be a part of that group. But to speculate on James Conner's ability group, but Chris said the best, man. We have an outstanding receiver core from our slot all the way out to our tight end. Like we have, and what they say. So there was 9 Steelers who their rookie season had 5 touchdowns or more, right? And this is going like Lewis Lips, Eric Green, all these guys. 3 of them are on our current active roster. Juju, Claypool, and Deontay. At least 5 or more. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you look at what we have. And of course we're not a run-heavy team. We're supposed to be. Why would we be?
Exactly.
That's a waste of talent. And that's the thing that people gotta start realizing too, is like, man, these guys are running professional teams very well. And they're doing a good job. You know what I mean? I feel stupid even second guessing them.
Not with a 7-0 record like they got right now.
No. Yeah, I feel dumb second guessing them.
Hey, real shit. At the end of the game, did you hear what the announcer said? He's talking, and the exact words he said is the exact same words we said on the last podcast. He said they had all the receivers walking out with Juju. and Ben, and they're talking, and they're like, and you know the crazy part? Juju is the veteran of this squad.
Right.
He is the veteran of this team. He literally said it on TV. I was like, holy shit, he knows too. We just said that shit, bro. Juju is the veteran receiver.
Yes, he is. I'm gonna tell you something else too, bro. I don't fucking anybody say, yeah, Claypool is the man. He's this is that. But Juju is the leader out of those receivers. That's big homie. Period. He's big homie. She's putting his shit down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, why the Steelers, I don't got them being in a hurry to get rid of that reliability. I don't. There's two type of receivers that actually there's three types. 2 to 3 types of receivers the Steelers always go after, which is your Martavis, Plexico, Chase Claypools, and then you got your Hans Ward, Juju's, and your A.B. Deontay's. You know what I'm saying? Those are your 3 prototypes they love. Do not get mad. I just don't got Juju. They're gonna work it out, bro. He's like, how do you give him away? How do you just give him away?
Yeah, definitely with him being so young and like his work ethic, how he's been performing. Like I definitely agree with you. I want to touch with you, Jim. As far as with this running game situation, do you think there's any changes that could be made to the offensive line pertaining to, you know, how they're run blocking in comparison to, you know, pass blocking? Because that was one of the things that I actually heard a lot of individuals say is, you know, like over the past 2 games, you know, Connor, he really hasn't, you know, put up a lot of big numbers, and we played, you know, 2 of the worst teams in the league, you know, at stopping the run. So, you know, you expected him to, you know, manage a workload there and to produce, and it didn't look like it happened. Me personally, I'm actually kind of looking at it and saying that, you know, it's the offensive line a little bit. But when Ben's not getting sacked a lot, you know, it's like, how can we say that? So in your opinion, Jim, like, what do you think the Steelers can do to, you know, improve the running game going in here into week 11 against the Jacksonville Jaguars? Could they potentially tweak some things with the offensive line, maybe switch up some of the play calling? Like, what's your thoughts?
Well, let me first just answer Banger and Chris. Juju's next birthday, which I think is next week or the week after, he'll be 24. So, like, he's really young.
Yeah.
And but
Big Unk at 23. He's Big Unk at 23. That's some shit, bro.
But hey, you know, I'm a firm believer that to be great on the offensive line, you have to have an offensive line coach with a heck of a resume. The Steelers had Russ Grimm and Mike Munchak, 2 of the greatest offensive line coaches in the history of the game. And what that produced was always an all-pro running back and 1 Hall of Fame running back with you know, Jerome Bettis. James Conner was a all-pro running back when they had Mike Munchak.
Yes.
When Mike Munchak left, instead of hiring an offensive line coach with a little gray hair, he ended up hiring his assistant, his coffee boy, the guy that went to get donuts for him. And listen, this is a guy that was at Akron for most of his career. He's a young guy. And, you know, you have to, the offensive line is one position. You can have all the talent in the world, but you have to have somebody that's an orchestrator, you know, for that offensive line, especially to make adjustments on the fly during the game. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing a great job in terms of, you know, pass blocking, but their run blocking game is, and James Conner is not the problem, but their run blocking game is not going to get better unless they get another offensive line coach in the off season. So they're just going to have to live with it, I believe, this year.
Okay. So I guess we can all agree to say that, you know, from our evaluation, it doesn't seem like James Conner is the issue. And I do agree with you. I believe that they do need, you know, an upgrade you know, as far as on a coaching standpoint, because you're right. Like after Munchak, after he left and he went to, I believe it was the Broncos two years ago. You know, that line hasn't been right. So I definitely agree with you there. So what's everyone's thoughts as far as with the Jacksonville Jaguars? I believe they only have one game that they've won this season. I know, like, it seems like we've been talking about this for like the past few weeks. Every game is lining up to be a trap game.
It's like Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. It's like we just talk about how this might be a team that pulls some bullshit off in the next week. This might be a team that pulls some bullshit up, and like we keep going there.
Yeah,
right.
It's crazy. With this game too, with this team, we once again have terrible talent disrespecters. We have a history, you know what I'm saying, of just bringing all around bad luck. We had, and I think we got them like we did last time. We got payback last year for them, and I think we're going to continue in that trend of whooping their ass.
Jim, anything you know about this backup quarterback? Because I hear Garner Minshew, he's banged up, so he's not going to be playing on Sunday. So with the backup, I know they played Green Bay pretty strong last Sunday. What do you think? Is going to be the keys to stopping him on Sunday?
Well, the key is going to be the rookie running back, James Robinson. Okay. He's from Illinois State. He reminds me of Thurman Thomas. He runs like Thurman, follows his blockers like Thurman, built like Thurman. And the one surprising thing, he got soft hands like Thurman because they ain't throwing him the ball that much at Illinois State. The rookie quarterback is a surprise because I thought Glennon would be the backup quarterback, the guy that ran Russell Wilson out of North Carolina State. When they recruited Glennon, the coach told Russell Wilson, "You're too small to play quarterback. Go play baseball." And he transferred to Wisconsin, and the rest is history. And Glennon can't even get in the game in front of a rookie. But hey, Jake Luton is 6'6". He's a tall dude. He was only a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. Couldn't cut it at Idaho. Set the bench at Idaho. Transferred to a junior college, lit it up, and then went to Oregon State. Got hurt all the time at Oregon State. Got hurt so much that he got granted a 6-year eligibility from the NCAA, which you got to be really brittle for the NCAA to give you 6 years to play 4. But his senior year, he lit it up. He threw 29 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions. He's 6'6". Don't have the strongest arm in the world, but he's really good on play action fakes. Loves to throw over the middle, sees the field real good. I only seen him run the ball maybe one time. He scored a touchdown against UCLA, but it looked like a picket fence for a 20-yard touchdown. He ain't the fastest. He's going to be in that pocket. And the Pittsburgh Steelers definitely got a chance to set the all-time NFL sack record against him because he's going to be right there. And TJ Watt, I know, wants to take over the NFL lead in sacks. He's going to have his opportunity for sure. But the guy got a nice arm. If you let him get in rhythm, he can put that thing up. 29 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions as a senior at Oregon State. So that's pretty impressive.
That's some information. And yeah, the defense, man, they had been balling, and I expect them to eat again on Sunday. Really. So Chris, what's your thoughts, man? What do you think about Jacksonville? I know, like,
bruh.
I mean, this is about, like, I have to tell people, like, even though they've only won one game, again, that year we were supposed to go to the Super Bowl that year, and we had our mind set on New England.
Yeah, but they were a better team then.
They beat us not once but twice. So
they were a better team then. They were a better team then. Our dudes love to eat. We got dogs that love to eat and they hungry. And you're feeding us another rookie quarterback. That's what we're looking at. That's how I'm looking at it right now. These motherfuckers are looking at it right now like, really? So not only did we just do this once, but now you're going to give us another second-hand quarterback. Like, I can't get a starter? You know what? They're going to hammer these dudes. I'm telling you, their offensive line's not that nice in the first place. And our D-backs, like he said, they're going to go ham, bro. They're going to go nuts. They're going to be blitzing left, right. Wide on. They're going to start doing the trick where he swings inside the tackle. Mark my words, watch it, because their offensive line is not nice. So they're going to be going full steam at them. I promise you that. I pick him to be out by second quarter, honestly.
Wow.
I'm going to be real with you. Because like Jim said, he's known for injury. He's definitely known for injury. Then he was already hurt on the practice squad, wasn't he? I believe so. Wasn't he? He was injured a little bit. So that's on the practice squad, bro. Now you're going against Dupree, Watt, Spillane. I'm just listen, bro. I'm just. This is just. It's just. There's just no possible way that they're going to get anything off. Is what I'm telling you. I mean, you have we have too many defensive attacks going on right now with a weak offensive line and a brutal quarterback. I mean, it sounds like the beginning of a tragic story to me. Like this, I honestly don't see this going good. I'm definitely guaranteeing we get them by 2 touchdowns at least. Is what I'm saying to you. There's to me, it's not going to be a game. They don't have a passing offense, and when they did, it was with the other quarterback. I mean, this guy's going to get rushed. He's going to get flustered. He's going to start tossing the ball. The running game, yeah, he's a little bit nice, but they still don't have an offensive line. You could be the best running back in the planet. You could be Barry Sanders with no offensive line. You're still not. So I'm going to be honest with you, bro. This one, I was worried more last week. To be honest with you.
Right.
I really was. I was worried more last week. Like, I'm not taking Jacksonville out saying they're a shitty ass team, but I'm saying that they're dookie. Like, I mean, they're
on an 8-game losing streak. So.
They're not what they've previously been. And I'll be damned. I thought
they break it against us. Yeah.
I'll be damned if I thought that we were going to lose. You know, we're known for losing that one game to a sad team. Yeah, we are known for doing that. But honestly, after these last couple, I don't see it happening, bro. So I don't see us losing, especially to this. We're not a chance. I honestly, and mark my words right now, the only team that I actually see even giving us a slight game when we're at our best is maybe KC, depending on how they link up with that run game.
So you know what, man? Yeah, 1,000%. What's so crazy is that what generally makes a trap game is that you completely disregard that team and don't prepare for them and they surprise you.
Right.
Now, when you have this undefeated gang status hanging like a sword over your head every single game, there's no such thing as a trap game because you're paranoid every single fucking game. You know what I'm saying? Like every single game you approach it at the locker room like, man, they ain't going, hell no, we got to get this. Come on, y'all, we got to get this. So to me, that really changes a lot of shit in that any given Sunday intangible factor with this whole league full of studs. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think we have any trap games on our schedule. Not being undefeated, we ain't taking nothing for granted.
And I definitely agree with you there. How do you guys think the game flow is going to go? Do you think it's going to be more of a passing situation like it was last week, or do you think they're going to go out of their way to try and get the running game established? Because like I said, Jacksonville's another team here that's like at the back end of the league, in stopping the run. So this would be another game, in my opinion, that I feel would be more like last game, like how they tried to work Ben into, getting the rhythm, spreading the ball around. Personally, I believe that they're going to make an effort to try and get that running game and everything established and carry that over into week 12. I believe we played the Buffalo Bills in week 12?
Bro, Baltimore on Thanksgiving. Ravens on Thanksgiving.
I'm bouncing here. So even exactly with Baltimore, that right there. So that's what I think is that they are going to use this pass game and this game to try and work in the players, get all the additional reps and everything, route these teams, and then just get prepared for Baltimore Thursday night. So I'll keep it there with you, Jim. So how do you think the game flow is going to go? Do you think it's going to be more run pass or?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you, Chris and Banger, man. I think that Jacksonville. I'm disappointed in their defense. Miles Jack is a heck of a linebacker. He ain't playing no ball this year. And like you said, man, we got a history with these guys, man. They disrespected the terrible towel. They knocked us out when They really didn't have great offenses. They scored a lot of points on us, knocked us out of the playoffs, beat us in regular season. So I think
And this has been once. This has been multiple times too. Like, let's not forget. I believe it was Mike Tomlin's first season that we made the playoffs with him, and they came here to Hansfield and they actually beat us that season as well. Prior to us going to win the Super Bowl, I believe the following year, right?
Well, Jacksonville one time was in our division, so we used to play them twice a year, but it was always a rivalry. But I tell you what, man, the one year, I forget when it was, when Jacksonville just returned interceptions on us, scooped up fumbles and scored. Their defense was just outstanding. I think we scored like 40 points in the playoff game, and they still beat us. So you're not going to overlook them. Huh?
Mm-hmm. No, so that was with Bell and Brown. But I'm actually talking about prior to, I believe it was 2009 is when we went to Tampa the last time I won the Super Bowl. And I believe the season prior to that, they actually came here and they beat us at Heinz Field. I think that may have been who was a starting running back for that game. I think someone might have got hurt or it was something crazy, but it was a game that we shouldn't have lost. A home playoff game that we shouldn't have lost. So
sure.
That rivalry definitely is there. What
you're
about
forgetting one factor, though? You're forgetting one factor. We are literally watching history be made right now.
Yes.
We have set records, and we are literally every single game we play now is setting another record.
Good point.
I mean, that right there alone, despite all, like we're talking about the rivalry and all that, we are talking about a little bit of a rivalry compared to the fact that you are setting
history.
Yeah. Record.
That's it. Hanging over their head. They got to say undefeated gang every week, bro. Like, all
that's
the other shit's irrelevant. All the other shit's completely irrelevant, man.
So there's no one.
Drew,
I'm telling you,
we're sitting here to even speculate on are they going to run more, are they going to pass more, they're going to win more, whatever the fuck is the game, whatever the team's open. Like, how do are you even a good coach to say, oh, we're going to make ourselves run more this week? No, you're going to see what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are and attack that way. That's it, period. And that's you do that. You know what I'm saying? You prepare for whatever. But bro, like you said, man, we're undefeated. We have ourselves to live up to now. We're making history every week. All that other shit.
As a rookie team.
As a rookie team. Man, fuck their game plans. Fuck all that other shit, man. Like, I got confidence in our team. I got confidence in every last one of our men. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not second guessing our coaches' decisions. I'm not second guessing our management. None of them. You know what I mean? They're doing an excellent fucking job. We'd be assholes to even sit there and try to speculate what they could do better. They got it.
Bro. And we are setting history and records as a rookie team. Remember that. These are rookie receivers. Juju is still considered as a newcomer. Like this dude. This motherfucker's like the Jedi Knight right now. He's his age. Like, listen, let me explain it to you.
Our offense, the only one people own on our offense is Ben and Marquise Pouncey. That's about it. That's it.
Yeah, we got a lot of you.
Bro. That's every time I say that, I'm like, damn, we really do. Like, that shit really is. Like, we have a rookie team. So this is legacy, bro. And I keep saying it, mark my words. Like, I mean, listen, there's nobody in this league right now that's even fucking with us. And even when they start pulling up on us, you'll see us over on the sideline. You don't see nobody sweating. We were down by 10 points. Ben's over there. They're over there flinging each other with towels and shit. Like, they didn't even give a fuck. Like, they were like, oh, we down by 10? Come on, man. Really, we down by 10? And they're like, all right, let's go. And they boom, right back in the game over. Like,
it's gonna go mode.
like he's over on the side. Like, even when he was kicking that field goal and he missed the field goal, he's like they made that meme with his face. Like, he was amazed. Like, he's like, what the fuck? Like, wow. That's what he said. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, it's just, I don't really see anybody fucking with us, bro. Honestly, on that level right there, like Banger said, it's not that we choose to go with only pass plays. It's just that we pull with our strongest session. And when you have Ben Roethlisberger out there with the setup he has, that's a non-questionable object right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you got to go there. I mean, at this point, it's like Connor do what he do, and he's still nice with it. It's just that he don't get enough carries because why would you stop doing something when you're winning? Yeah, you're throwing the ball and you're taking this all over the place. I mean, what other NFL team, as soon as we get in the red zone, starts passing? We start setting up pass plays. You don't see no power eye come in no more. You don't see none of that shit. We might run one play to throw the shit off a little bit, and boom, we're back in the air. Like, that's just what we are. We are a passing team at this point. And it's not that we choose to be that. We are formed that way.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like trying to be nostalgic for up the gut Steelers football. It's like it's 2020, man. Like it ain't 1996. The league changed, the league evolved, our team evolved. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it ain't we're gonna make the team great run again. Like, it ain't gonna happen, bro. It's just we're going future focused, and that's where the team is going, man. We're in the future right now. We have James Washington Lewis, Ebron, and Claypool is the biggest. And we got everything in between, and they're all goons. Why wouldn't you? It's like they say, hey man, if a team got great coverage, but their D line sucks and it's horrible, and James Conner's the way, because they're shutting down all those receivers, cool. But we got the type of receivers you can't shut them all down. You can't. There's no way in hell. Who are you going? You double one, the other ones are open. It just rotates. So like, yeah, you're not seeing great James Conner numbers. So what?
Yeah, you definitely have F at the defensive back position to, lock down, a team like the Steelers with as much as they have. Yeah, so I definitely don't see a lot of teams matching up with it. I don't see any teams because like a lot of teams, like once you get past like the starters, like they don't have a lot of depth like we have. So, like a lot of teams don't have like the Mike Hiltons and the Suttons and different players back there ready to step up, against some of those additional wide receivers. So yeah, I definitely agree with you, man. I definitely agree with you there.
Yeah, he's probably the best core wide receivers I've ever seen since I've been watching the team myself. Like I have to say, just going back from the 90s and me really watching the game on up, this is the best core of receivers we've ever had.
Yeah, I agree with you. They got a lot of ball.
Everyone has something to prove too. Ben, last year, everyone talking about replacing him, get him out of there. He came in fresher and newer than ever.
Yep.
Down that way. Looked jacked up again, shaved his face to give himself the whole outlook and profile. I mean, he came in. So this year for him is all proving something. Y'all want to get rid of me. He told me I was done for. That's this. Then the receivers. We're rookies. Y'all ain't doing shit with rookies. Y'all just got here. So now they got something to prove. We ain't just some punk ass rookies. You know what I mean? So it's like everybody has something to prove all together on this team. So it's like there's just so much behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.